falling on my head.
Hi everyone, I'm Jalela Starr. Welcome to my weekly messages. Today the topic is once again emotional clearing, and what's going on with Japan. I mean, the reason I'm saying that is because I've been watching the broadcasts about the devastation in Japan, but what struck me most was how they talked about how prepared they had been for an earthquake. They actually did annual earthquake, exercises to get people prepared to deal with an earthquake. They had big, huge gates around their harbors to stop tsunamis, when because they have a threat of tsunamis. And yet, even with all of that, and I'm sure it did minimize the damage to some degree, it just seems like there was nothing they could do to prevent or to save themselves from the fury of that, of the tsunami and the hurricane and the earthquake. It's just, I sat there watching that, and it brought to mind the fact that we are so fragile, as a species on this planet. We're just kind of buffeted around by the forces of nature. We do what we can, but it's like, the Three Little Pigs, and we make our houses not of brick, but of sticks and whatever. And we're just no match for Mother Nature. So, I get emails just every day, just about, when people saying, what do we do to be safe? What do we do to prepare? And I said, there is no safe place, only safe DNA. And people go, what does that mean? Well, what that means is, and now quantum science has verified this, is that you can only create your safety from within. In other words, the law of attraction states that whatever you are putting out emotionally, because emotions are electromagnetic, is what you will magnetize to you. So, for example, an angry person who's got a lot of anger inside will draw to them circumstances and events that will give them more cause to feel anger. So it could be angry people. It could be a situation like a car accident or, something that makes you angry. You will keep attracting that until you stop emoting, putting out the angry energy. And it's not always what you consciously put out, not what you're consciously aware of as far as your emotions. It's what's going out that you're stuffing. It's also exuding its frequency as well. So going back to Japan and going back to earth changes and being safe, if you're putting out a lot of fear, if you're putting out a lot of anger, frustration, resentment, bitterness, all these things you will draw to you. And if you're putting out enough, you will draw to you circumstances to give you cause to feel those feelings again. In other words, you put out fear, the universe will send you events to cause you to feel fear. Saying, oh, you want fear? Okay, here's an event to make you feel fear. The universe can only give you what you put out or what you ask for. And you're asking for it either consciously or unconsciously. And that's where people get tripped up. They think it's only what they're conscious of that they're drawing. It's whatever's down here. You are also drawing. So, whether you're in Japan or Australia or the U.S. or wherever you are, it isn't how many underground bunkers you buy or how much food you store or how much water you store or whatever you do to prepare externally. It's what you're doing internally. So the best thing we can do, the best preparation is do your emotional clearing. That's why the Nibiruans have focused on emotional clearing now for the last several years, and that's why I just keep bringing it up over and over again. People, it isn't what the external stuff that you do to prepare, it's the internal stuff that you do. So with that said, I thought about it over this last week, and I realized that what I needed to do was to prepare a whole series of things that you can do for emotional clearing. So I've got, at this point, You can do an emotional clearing session. You can do it by phone. You can do it by Skype. You can do an emotional clearing workshop. You can do it here at my house. You can do it by Skype. You can also do an emotional retreat. If you want to do the workshop by yourself with just me and come and hang out with me for a weekend, you can do a retreat. And if traveling to Kansas City or doing it, just by Skype doesn't work for you and you want to have a kind of that group energy, we can do the emotional clearing teleconference, which I started this past week. Great success. People loved it. You call in or you Skype in or you use the chat. So it doesn't cost you anything as far as a phone call. And you ask your questions and I will answer them. The key is we got to get through emotional clearing. That is number one over anything else because safety is paramount now from this point on. We're in the most intense part of the ascension process. We're in the major birthing contractions and, we're dilated to 8 to 9 centimeters now. It is time to really get with the program and get that clearing done because that will be your safety. So that's it for today. Enough harping for today, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye.